Hi, Peter.
Hey KJ, where am I calling into?
We're in Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
So,
I got a speeding ticket there once.
are you serious?
Yeah,
Well, that's not the memory we want you to have of Indianapolis, Peter.
I got. Well, it's kind of funny because I was in a motorhome I was being followed by this cop car for like 5 miles. He was very upset when he pulled me over. And he said, I've been following you for 5 miles. I was like, I don't have a rear view window. I didn't see it back there. I had to invite him into my motorhome. It was like, do you want a coffee? Do you want some cake? And I was like, I thought the Indianapolis, it was about speeding cars.
It's May here, so we're getting close to the Indy 500. But your motorhome does not look like an Indy car, so they're not going to go with that.
Well, next time you want to speed, just get in my RV. I'll take you for a ride.
I have questions about what you were doing roaming around the country with your RV, so I want to find out about that. And I promise you we're going to get to talking about The Ravine, your new movie. But
Okay.
were you just traveling the country for leisure?
Well, I went on a 3-week motorhome trip with my wife at the time and my 5-year-old daughter. And we were just crossing from New York to LA, and I would stop in every state for across the way for like a day or two. Just such a fascinating trip. And I remember going to Metropolis, Illinois. Was one of the. I was like, wherever I see the sign, like biggest ball of yarn, let's stop there.
Yeah.
I love that kind of stuff. And so I stopped at this little town, Metropolis, Illinois, and because it said hometown of Superman, and I was like, oh, I gotta go there. And they had this little tiny museum there, and a big giant statue of Superman. I was like a kid in a candy shop. I mean, I love anything. I mean, one year I flew to. I saw in a book, it said the biggest bottle of ketchup in the world. And it was just a water tower painted as a ketchup bottle. And I don't even remember what town it was. And I said, I jumped on a plane with the kids and went there for the 4th of July because they were having like a festival there.
The ketchup festival.
My daughter won the hula hoop contest there.
Oh my
we were,
gosh.
doing water balloon tosses. It was so fun.
I'm going to have to look this up. And I will tell you, Peter, for your next trip, please, please, please stop in my hometown of Cuba City, Wisconsin, which calls itself the City of Presidents. You will not be disappointed at at their wonderful display of patriotism. I'm just going to leave it at that. Put it on your bucket list.
I love that. I'm putting it on the list.
All right, let's talk about The Ravine. This is your new movie coming out. It's got a killer cast, and I hate to use the word killer because that's kind of what's going on in this movie, right?
Yeah, it's a movie about forgiveness, and it's a very moving story. It's based on true events, and my character plays Eric Dane's best friend, and he believes he knows me, and we do everything together. And then one day my character commits murder and ends up killing himself. And then he's left with all these unanswered questions. And how well did I know this guy? And how did this happen? And what do you do with that, when your best friend commits an atrocious act like that? How do you find forgiveness? I also think it explores mental health. I mean, my character, he's one of those guys where he was the life of the party and everything was great, but on the inside, he was tortured. And maybe there's an alternate world where someone had reached out to him, or he was able to reach out to Eric Dane's character in a way that didn't sweep things under the rug. He could have gotten help and maybe spared some lives that night. So it's a cautionary tale in some ways to check in with friends, and you never know what people are going through underneath.
I think that's a conversation that we're having more and more these days. So very timely to be a part of a movie that is exploring that. Do you have a preference in the roles that you play? I mean, something that's so like deep and complex and intense like this, or you know, the obviously warm and lovely Carlisle, who is, you know, the
Yeah.
favorite, my favorite. And then, you know,
Mm.
one of our listeners here was like, did he like playing the twit that he was on Nurse Jackie? I'm like, I don't know. Let me ask him.
Well, you know, for me, what's fun is exploring different people. You know, I think that's the fun of acting. Like, I try to make something for everybody. You know,
Hmm.
so if you like superhero stuff, I've done Supergirl. If you like really, you know, deep, thought-provoking movies, watch The Ravine. You know, then there's Twilight. If you like love stories, so it's like I get bored too quick to play the same thing over and over. So for me, it's all about, my agents say, what do you want to do next? I'm always like, well, something I haven't done before.
Peter, I wish we could talk all day because you're just one of those people that I feel like I could. I know we got a few minutes. A couple of things. We play a game on our show that we're doing right now. It's called One Must Go, and we pick two fictional characters, and one of them gets erased from existence. And the audience asked me today to do One Must Go with you, either Adam West as the Batman or Robert Pattinson as the Batman. Which one has to go?
Oh, man. Well, I got to go Adam West, even though that's like sacrilege. But, I mean, Robert Pattinson's my, you know, his family to me, so I can't have him go. You know, I'm Team Edward all the way, so.
Thanks for playing along. Now, would you do me the kindness, Peter, of introducing yourself and saying you're listening to the KJ Today Show?
This is Peter Facinelli, and you're listening to the what is it, KJ?
KJ
Today.
KJ Today Show.
Got it. That's a tongue twister. Hey, this is Peter Facinelli. You're listening. Now I can't even say my name. Hey, this is Peter Facinelli. This is what it's like being on set with me, though, right?
Thankfully, we're recording, Peter. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. There we go. This is Peter Facinelli, and you're listening to the KJ Today Show.
Woo! Thank you, Peter. We'll be watching the movie. Great to talk to you.
Thanks. So fun to talk to you. Thanks.